Good, you?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So we're missing just Tom, right? No, Seth Haaland. Seth's not coming?
Yep. You done then?
They didn't email me.
Colette? I think Colette, didn't she say she was
She
taking,
might still be in.
she's taking care of her mother?
She said she might be out for a few months.
Either that or they missed the email on the public hearing. Maybe. You could have a donut. Go ahead. Yeah.
We're gonna watch a movie.
Yeah, Todd's.
There he is.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah.
movie man.
You're all set up. Did you have your? Okay, perfect.
They're gonna get you a chair, I think. Yeah, I think so.
You grab one right from around the corner there, actually.
Unless Colette's gonna be in later.
Yeah, there's a couple of there.
Oh.
This is temporary. As we're building a fire station, we have to use this for our meetings. So, they're building right around the existing fire station. So, and then administration, zoning and parks and all that will have offices in there as well as a meeting room for trustee meetings and zoning commission, BZA.
You think they'll get rid of the mold?
Yeah, I hope so.
You must have been breathing some of that in.
Oh, yeah.
All down that basement all those years.
Yeah, it was terrible. Is,
We're all set. I think Brian's ready. Yep.
oh,
Down in the dungeon.
okay.
The new intercom system.
So just before we are going live. We'll be on YouTube tonight, and then you could always go back and watch this. But the public hearing part and the actual zoning commission meeting will be on YouTube.
All set, Tom? Okay. Okay, we'll bring this meeting to order. It's around 6:30, I guess. This is a public hearing meeting on the changes in zoning. As you can see, there's quite a bit. If you have that back, there's quite a, oh, I don't know, there's a million of them. Yeah, right,
Yes.
all these right here. Well, anyway,
No, they got it up there. They did.
this is part of the land comprehensive plan for the 2050, bringing us up to 2050. We have been working along with regional planning on it for somewhere a year or so. And the basic idea is to try to bring some of the non-conforming properties into conforming. And a lot of that affects affects the resale of your properties, the being able to get loans on your properties and things like that. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike and let him fill you in a little bit.
Yeah, so we have 4 amendments that's here for the public hearing. The reason for this is we want to hear from the residents. If you think we made a mistake or there are some areas that don't make sense, we wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. So this is one of the public hearings we're going to have. There's another one at the trustee level. But this board decides, if you have comments, certainly bringing them up to the board. They'll take that into consideration and they can amend our stuff that we have here tonight, make the necessary changes, send it back to regional planning. But this is like a work session to hear from everybody else. And with that, we have Todd Peets from Regional Planning Commission. He's with the county, so he is our next step, and he has all the information for us tonight. Todd, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to get this to work. Because I can, on my screen is not what I'm seeing up here. So we had 4 areas, and I'm going to see if I can just escape from here. Let's see if that does anything. Interesting.
We need Brian.
You need Brian because it's not working. It's changing on my screen here, but it's not changing up here. Oh. Hey.
Oh, no, we don't want that. Okay,
Thanks,
so
Brian.
I'm gonna go through each one of these individually, but I'm just to start out and show you. I don't know if everyone can see it clearly. What's that?
Can you make it bigger?
Yeah, we should be able to. You wanna grab it? Oh, he's gonna do that. There you go.
And then,
Well, these are the smaller versions. We're gonna blow up each one individually so you can see them bigger. I'm just going in general here. So you got 76 down here. This is 43 going up that way. We have 4 amendment areas up here on Howe Road. Over here, the residential properties that are like a block off of 43. We have this area 4, which is shown as the highway commercial. However, it's being developed as condos. And then this area here, you have some hotels in here, you have some condos in here, and then you have some big pieces of open space. And then the park we're actually in is over here. So we'll go through each one. We'll go through the Howe Road one first. And see if I can just click through here. Okay, let's try this. Boom. All right, so the Howe Road one is currently general commercial, and we're looking at changing that to a residential R2 district. There are 4 existing homes on these parcels. So these are the 4 parcels that we're talking about. Really, it's 5 parcels. 1, 2, 3, 4 homes, and this is a vacant parcel. This is Howe Road, and that's 43. And I've got additional other maps here of that area, so I can go through these. When we looked at this area, that shows that some of that area is impacted by hydric soils. That brown area is hydric soil, and what a hydric soil is, it's high water table, so it's not good for septic systems. This area here, that's a wetland in this area. So the houses, there's a couple houses in here already. This is the only vacant parcel here. But so the idea is to go from general commercial to an R2 residential zoning. We've got some more pictures for you here. This is really fighting me. There.
Is there sewer that already exists along the drainage path?
There is sewer that exists along 40, right in that corner, I believe. Yeah, so here's the existing land use. The yellows are showing residential. The greens are showing like either vacant or agriculture. These reds are showing commercial. Gosh, wow. Showing commercial. So that's what we've got there as the existing uses. And then, come on. And this is the current zoning, and that's how it would look if you made the zoning change for here.
So one parcel in that whole group would change essentially.
Well, one parcel is vacant. These four are already residential. Gosh, this thing is moving super slow. Maybe if I put a piece of paper in it.
So in that one parcel that's vacant,
Yeah.
if one build that, can you build from the new zoning value of that home all the way back down to, say, if you want to put sheep in there?
Sheep?
Just an example, farm.
There's-
corn.
What is the acreage on that?
On that parcel? I
That's
think
not,
The
that's
vacant
not
parcel
over.
is about an acre.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't be able to. It's not.
What do you need for something like that?
state law.
Yeah, if it kicks in, you're gonna need
And
it.
that same apply for anything that's a single family that would go into either one of those other yellow areas? That yellow, rest of that
So
yellow area?
The agriculture law applies to all the districts as far as you do it, residential, if you're doing horses or you're doing goats or anything, it's the same thing.
So if you had somebody that this is now, the new zoning is going to be multi-residential, is that the idea?
You don't have multi-residential on there.
High density, what is?
R2 is a lower density
So that
residential,
would be what, a duplex, fourplex?
single family home.
Typically, family homes or.
Yeah.
So in those other areas that are now occupied, are those mostly homes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So that's the first one. I don't know how you guys want to do it. You want to vote one at a time, or you want to go through all of them?
I would say let's do, I don't mean to take it from the chairman, but I would do one at a time. And then if anybody has questions on that particular portion, instead of waiting till the end, let them ask the questions on that particular amendment.
Okay.
And then go to the next one. That's my suggestion.
You want to vote on it then at the completion of
At the completion, then
discussion.
take everybody's considerations into account, because somebody might be like, hey, this doesn't make sense, and I'd like to look at everything,
So we want to move on to the next one then? All right.
Well, maybe we could have a discussion on, that would be number one amendment, that would be GC general to R2 to residential medium density. It consists of 5.99 acres, includes the following 5 parcels. Any discussion on that? Anybody have any
Sure, I got
comments?
discussion on it. I think we ought to clarify exactly why we're trying or would like to do this from a zoning board perspective. I think that's important because a lot of people hear, R2, R4, then general commercial. I mean, those are terms they may not be familiar with.
Okay.
So right now, to back up one slide,
Back up one slide. Okay.
those properties are listed as general commercial.
Yeah, so Pat is right, those homes that are there right now, and they exist right now, are in the general commercial district. And the
So
biggest,
if you change that, will their taxes be lower?
has no effect on the taxes because they're not conforming use. So if you're a residential home in a general commercial district, you're taxed on a residential home, not a business.
Okay.
So it's not gonna affect your taxes, and this is just the zoning only, it's not gonna affect anything with that. But what is happening, and then where we're getting predominantly the most amount of complaints in the township, is that people come to do an addition. Now, they're a non-conforming use and they're a house. I can't authorize that addition. They have to pay a fee of $250, go to the zoning board of appeals, wait an additional month, and they may get turned down because it's a general commercial district, not zoned for homes. And so and to expand that non-conforming use, they have to go to the board of zoning appeals. And then the other problem is a lot of them are getting turned away at the banks, because banks now, as they got stricter, if you're not zoned and you're a non-conforming use, they won't lend the money for an addition. So we're trying to help the residents by doing this. And we're trying to hit as many areas as possible.
But one time they were residential and they changed it to general commercial and now you want to change it back to residential.
I
don't
can't-
understand that.
Well, I came in 2018,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
first thing I looked at is why in the world down Howell Road are all these general commercial?
Well, that was Brookfield Drive. Why did they make it? Our understanding was that they needed funding to repay 43, so they just went loop down and got general commercial so they could get funding, and now you want to put it back to residential.
Well, I don't understand the funding portion because that wouldn't affect the road.
Exactly.
But, general commercial, we're trying to limit where our water is gonna be as well. I mean,
What effect would it have on the value, just as an example, this one we're looking at here? If it's changed, would the value of the property in terms of how it could be used, would it become less or more?
well, in my mind, Todd, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm taking a non-conforming use and I'm making it a conforming use, I just added value to it.
So just tell me the difference between medium and high density, R2, R3, R4.
So as you go up, the higher the density, R1 is more like, bigger lots. R2 is actually what we're calling it because the district next to it is R2, as well as the lot sizes fit in R2. So we're looking at lot sizes as far as R2, R3, R4. R4 is a high density where you're gonna see apartment complexes off of like Sanctuary Drive, Copper Creek Apartments. Those are
What
R4s.
is the density, our density, how many units per acre is that?
Well, this is R2.
Yeah,
So right now, this is 1 dwelling unit per acre.
okay. So when does it get to where, what's the highest density per acre that you have?
Well, and this amendment right
Other
now,
than this one here.
well, let's wait till we get to that point, but this one right now is R2. So
So single family home.
yeah, the only districts that what we're doing, and when you see an R2, R3, we're matching the existing, and we're calling, like Todd would say, we're calling it duck a duck. So when we did a comprehensive land use plan, we took it out to 2050, and it's on the website, you can take a look at it. And what it is it's an outline for the community over the years. If I'm not here, Todd's not here, or this board's not here, it's a guideline for the community every year to work towards that goal of getting the zoning right, all the conforming uses in it, and to simplify this so it's not so complicated. We're not looking at, I do economic development as well as zoning here, and you're gonna see that down 76, that's where most of our expansion is hitting with commercial. There will be commercial coming down 43 as we get water down here and working with Kent now to get water. But I am, every developer that I deal with, nobody's looking down Brimfield Drive or how, I don't ever see that developing in commercial. So that's another aspect of it that we're just, if you want to do an addition in your house, you should have the right to do an addition. Come in, I could give you a permit same day. You shouldn't have to go to a board meeting, beg and plead for an addition, and you may or may not get it. It doesn't make sense.
Because it's still.
Right.
And that's also below the minimum acreage required.
Yeah, so we're changing that. We're actually calling it what conforms to the lot size.
And you'll see this as we go. There's a couple of these that just hit you right in the face and say, geez, why is that general commercial?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what we said.
yeah.
All right,
You want to move on?
hey, go ahead, next slide.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next group. This area here, and sorry, this is sideways now, okay? So, this is kind of a different way to do this. So 43 is running along the north here. So everything, this is east side of 43. This area in red, outlined in red, is all general commercial zone currently. And these are houses or non-commercial uses that are off of 43. None of these front on 43. And so the idea here is to change the zoning to an R3 district, which is a little higher residential, but we have looks like an apartment complex here. But for the most part, everything else appears to be single-family housing. So if I go through the map series real quick, and again, it's kind of turn your head sideways to see this the way you're used to seeing it. So here again, here's 43 going here. We've got Brimfield Drive here, Howe, and Sherman here. And then these brown areas again are hydric soils. These areas here are wetlands, and then this is a pond or a water body. Of course, you pretty much can see that. But you can see the residential lots in here, and that kind of thing. Next, this is the existing. So this yellows are all existing residential. The greens like an open space ag. These are vacant pieces here, not being used for anything. This color here is government, and then again the commercials along 43 up here in red. That's the existing conditions. Here's the zoning. As I mentioned, this is all zone GC general commercial, and then if we did the change, it would be an R3 residential.
Is that as clear as mud, or does everybody follow that? What we're talking about there?
Would you point to Brimfield Drive again?
Brimfield Drive is right here.
And where is 43?
43 is right here.
So that area that's blue above Brimfield Drive there, right in that area.
This is highway. It's called highway commercial.
Okay.
And the highway commercial, gas stations, and hotels, things like that.
And the red then going to the right, yeah, that's going to be multi-resident.
No, this red here is all still gonna stay general commercial.
That stays with it.
And then,
It already is now, so.
and if you guys remember the last one we just did, well, that would be, with the proposed changes, that's that one lot right here, and that R2 would be going back that way, so. it's-
Right.
Basically, if it's fronting on 43, we're keeping it
Makes sense.
commercial.
Well, that makes
Anything,
sense.
anything that's not fronting on 43, we're going back to residential, because I agree with you. I have no clue what the logic was, and maybe, I don't know, Ron, you would have the history. I don't know why some of them were, or if you were around at that.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff was just done in a hodgepodge fashion.
Okay,
Uh,
guessing at where things
when
would
the new
be.
books
Yeah.
and zoning things came out, it was really just done in a, let's.
Hope
make
and development
GC
comes in, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
put GC here, R1.
I
here.
got you, okay.
Yeah.
So at some time in the future, if somebody has property on Brimfield Drive. that
Yes.
It will be multi-residential. R2, is that right?
So this is going to an R3, and the only reason that it's going to an R3, and correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, is the lot sizes, correct?
The duplex is already on
And there is
the property.
duplexes in there, yes.
Right.
So if someone wanted to extend the red further into Brimfield Drive, they'd have to go to the zoning and request the zoning change.
They have to pay for an amendment request to this board, but the likelihood after us changing this now are slim to none. I mean, you'd really have to come in and say, hey, because, we're taking a hard look at it now and using our comp plan.
But you have the ability in the future, if minds change, that can change.
Yes,
I
yeah,
doubt
yeah.
if somebody's gonna wanna open a business
Exactly.
that far deep on Brimfield Drive. I
Now,
mean,
what is high density?
R4.
I know, but what?
we're gonna look at it.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it, but it's
We'll show you.
mainly apartments.
Yeah, just 3 and 4 stories.
Yep.
So,
3-story, we don't go.
Three-story.
So you're looking at those parcels right there going to medium to high density, so in practicality, you could
No.
build 2-3 stories.
No, I'm sorry. We're going from general commercial
To medium high density.
to medium high density.
So what's high density?
So this is single, 2-family and 3-family multi-dwellings up to 2 dwelling units per acre.
Any other questions? Do you want me to move on again, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the next one, this is the area this is the area that's going to be going from highway commercial to R4, and then we had some additional recommendations. Oh, this is not that one. This is this one. I was thinking the one that's across the street here. Sorry. So this one here is already highway commercial. You can see it's been built as condos, and so it makes sense to change this to the R4 because
Point out
it's-
the Mexican restaurant there in the corner.
that's this one right here, right?
Right.
There's the Holiday Inn Express. There's a gas station. So that's where we're at. This is Sanctuary Drive, and then here's 76 as well. So anyways, the only lot that's not being utilized is this one, but this lot is owned by the people who own this lot. So that's why the recommended change is from highway commercial to the R4 district. Again, it's kind of matching the zoning with what's actually happening out there. Oh, I got some more pictures for you. I got the floodplain stuff. So on this one, you don't see any of that brown or wetlands in there, so that's a good sign. This is the existing, the auditor's showing this is all residential. You can see what's existing commercial here, vacant.
And that is important because that is how, there was questions about taxes. That's what the auditors use. So even though our zoning says one thing, that yellow is residential, so they're taxing you on residential even though it was commercial zoning.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We never figured that out.
And so then, okay, so that's how it's currently being utilized. And then this next picture is how it looks in the zoning map. And then this is what it would look like if we made the change. Is there any comments or questions on this one?
Blue is just showing associations.
Blue highway commercial?
Yeah, he changed colors on us.
Is that what it's called? Highway
Yeah, that's, the blue is highway commercial and the previous example was red.
No, the previous was always red.
There's two main differences between a highway commercial and a general commercial predominantly.
See,
Is the
it's still
used
that
car
same blue
lots
here.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
are
Yeah, you're right.
non-conforming uses in the general commercial right now. They're highway commercial only. So, the ones that are there have a right to exist throughout the general commercial as long as there's not a 2-year span where they're gone.
Like with the residential home.
Yeah, they're not conforming uses. And then the other district change between the highway commercial is, there's actually 2. Gas stations and hotels are allowed in highway commercial. They're not allowed in general commercial.
You guys want to go to the next one?
I think that's a good point, because when you come up 43, if we leave it general commercial, we're not gonna put hotels all the way up and down through there.
Correct. Or gas stations.
Or gas stations.
Or gas stations.
So,
This has always been, for as long as I've been around, we've always tried to keep the 43 corridor general commercial, hoping that someday water and sewer will go through there. Totally connect us with Kent, and we can, build that up into, stores or, something larger, even, the grocery stores or anything like that.
Mhm.
So that's always,
Mini Howe Road.
yeah, well, it's been suggested over a lot of years that we change that to, R3, or, HC, and we just didn't want to expand hotels and the gas stations. We have been stuck with a couple of car dealerships there that snuck in on us
So, I would concur with Ron, and I think, our start is if you look down by Dillon's, and we have the nursing home. Nursing home brought water. We didn't have water there. So as the developers come in, we will slowly bring water down 43, as well as sewer. Kent is in agreement with it, and they have plenty of water flow to handle us. That's the idea, is to come up from Kent, bring the water. Kent is all for it because the water bills are going to Kent. So they're pretty excited about it as well.
And those are Kent wells too.
Mhm.
Want to go on to the next one?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is, that's also general commercial, and we're talking about having it go to highway commercial. I think here's what we're looking at here. So here's one of those hotels on Edson Road. I think, can we see us here? I think we're we're right here. That's where we are.
You got the baseball diamond there and
Yeah.
Nets Road Park.
So you can kind of see how close we are to this one. But gosh, what's the name? There's a condos here. I can't remember the name of it. Just look, Wood Glen. Yeah, Wood Glen Apartments. That's perfect. And so we're looking at this area, and then there's a few houses up here. There's a few houses here. Really, there's a couple of vacant pieces here. Actually, the next upcoming maps will show us the vacant pieces. So here's again, no hydric soils in this area and no wetlands in this area. So that's all good. Here we go. So all this yellow is the residential stuff. This orange color, which is a new color, that's the multifamily that the auditor's using. Again, some more yellow, red for that hotel that's there. And then this here is the vacant, all the vacant areas in this property. This is showing that there's a house here. What's going on here is these lots go all the way over to here and they connect to that park. So one of the thoughts we had on this was, rather than make all of this highway commercial, we talked about making a highway commercial through here, and then we talked about having this go to the R4 district. And I think we said, what did we say on this one? We said we wanted to change this or leave this alone, didn't we?
Yeah.
But anyways, let's keep going.
There's a lot here.
Well, see, this is residential.
Change it to,
If you go back,
highway commercial.
This-
highway
well,
commercial.
this area here is existing residential. So, and these are existing residential houses too, right? So to make all of this from all of this from GC to highway commercial, it doesn't really make sense for these units. And it doesn't make sense for these guys either because they're in a condo. So these guys, I think we talked about leaving them alone, or actually changing these to R2, I think it was, wasn't it?
And if you're doing it, Todd, if you're doing that and it's not on here to go for the R2, I don't see those going. Oh, we did. Never mind.
Yeah, and I don't know if
Mistake.
this is the right one.
No, we have the correct drawings out though.
Here it is.
That's correct.
That's correct.
This is the one. I'm sorry for everybody who got confused. I apologize.
Is that the amendment 4?
Yes.
This is the
Yeah.
amendment 4. So the highway commercial would come down here, and that would be the highway commercial. This is the hotel. That would go from GC to highway commercial. And these are this is the Woodland Apartments. So that would go to R4. These homes, instead of being general commercial, they would be the R2. And that's what we recommended at our last meeting.
Oh, down further.
That's really what's located there, the hotel, the highway commercial, and the high density of apartments, and then the lower density stuff.
Does anybody live in this area?
Yes.
Okay. And what are your comments on this? And what would you like to see?
Well, I guess, highway commercial, that would be gas stations, hotels, like you said, right?
Mhm.
And what about right now, I have, two residential properties there, and I make a lot in the middle.
Mhm.
What happens, somebody said if they burn down, you can't rebuild them or something?
No, that's not true. They can be rebuilt. And when we changed that years ago, I think the townships, I think all the townships in Portage at one time had that law. That's not the law anymore.
So would my home still be then a non-conforming use? So I'd have trouble getting loans, you said?
Which lot is your, I don't
I can
see.
show you.
Yeah, walk up there and point to it.
This one, and these two.
So we didn't expand that. I mean, it's pretty much staying,
Well, it's already GC.
that's what I'm saying, it's staying commercial.
It's
So
non-conforming
non-conforming
now.
no matter what, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the worst case scenario is what you could do is you could go here and just carve them out and put them in the R2 district.
I'm not opposed to putting it residential. If that's gonna be a problem for him and he thinks,
The other thing is,
I have no-
there's a vacant lot there that doesn't have 150 foot frontage or something. 100
he's the only one that can make money off of it. If it's vacant and he wants to sell it to a hotel,
Right.
he can at this point, but if he wants to keep it residential, put it back to resident, I'm fine with that. I have no
Like I
plan.
said, right now, it's general commercial.
So what do you prefer? You prefer the
We're
highway
open on it.
commercial Or the
Doesn't matter to us.
Go with the highway commercial. These folks here also have problems.
Yeah, I have a problem with private commercial next door.
So which lot's yours?
I have R2 and
This
all those frontage on that one and the two next to that. there.
these
I
three?
own all of that and all the way down to the park.
Todd, what
Oh,
else
yeah.
is over there? Don't we have coming off the one, we have the hotel back on that one back.
The hotel's over, yeah.
This is the hotel here.
Okay.
Or something.
You know, I'm not opposed to
Is that
To
the
taking
Hotel
that-
8 or-
I'm not opposed to taking that whole
Hotel 8 or
area
Super 8,
R2 on
is that
that
what it
side.
is?
Yeah.
Then you've got Mrs. Grunn's property.
Pat, I
Which
don't,
is not my
Which
Is
is
now
property.
your
I'm not
property,
developing
okay.
Yeah, it's friends.
I'm not gonna develop that whole side. I have no plans of ever developing that side. If you wanna take that whole side back to R2, I'm fine with that.
That's indicated in blue HC.
So the whole south side of Edson now, or this whole
Yep.
thing?
Yep, except for, call a duck, and wherever the
The hotel is.
hotel is,
Well,
obviously
this
you wanna
is-
stop it at that line.
This is the
Hotel there.
hotel up here,
Yeah.
and the other hotel is here.
Yep, and then go to R2 there.
So R2 on this part now,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
and this goes to R4.
What's R2? Let me just make sure.
Yeah, single house.
So what about the existing use of those properties, like R2 is? Does that change anything what we're using it for now?
If you're a residential home in that area, then it becomes from a non-conforming use to a conforming use.
The other 3 lots are vacant land.
So you could build homes on those at that point, which you wouldn't have been able to up till we changed this.
You'd have to come in and appeal and go through all that process to put a home on.
And they haven't let one go into a commercial district
What
yet.
is R3?
It's a higher density. It's not the highest density, but it's a higher density and it's based off of
It's
your
still
lot
single
size.
Family home. Most of the differences
It
in
is.
R1, R2, R3 are setback rules.
Yeah,
And lot sizes and setback rules from the front of the road and from your neighbors and so forth. That normally changes when you go from R1, R2 to R3. Is there your setback rules and so forth, or your minimum lot size.
so to answer your question, it's single, 2, 3, and multifamily dwellings up to 2 dwelling units per acre, and the minimum lot size is a half acre.
So could you make those R3?
No, because we'd be spot zoning right there.
Yeah.
And I don't want a spot zone. If you have R2 coming all the way down that way, I'd like to keep it R2.
Or we can just leave it as highway commercial?
Or you could leave it as highway commercial, but the board is going to decide tonight. And if we change this to R2, I believe, Todd, they got to vote to send it back to regional planning,
No,
or they can amend it and send it to the trustee level.
they can amend it and send it to the trustees.
Perfect. So what you decide on tonight and what you guys convince the board of what you would like on that area, I'm open to. You're not going to get any objections from the zoning department. I have no plans of developing that with so if you guys want to put it to residential, that's fine.
Yeah, if we left it zoning highway commercial and you sold the property, say you passed away and your kid sold the property to somebody, whoever's buying it may have trouble getting a loan because it's zoned for it's a commercial property.
And if you have a vacant lot right now, it could become buildable.
Well, not based on your frontage, it's not going to be.
But if you have 2 lots there, you have more frontage.
You could always seek a variance on the lot size
Yeah,
as
you
far
can.
as frontage.
Yeah, that's not a burn in stone rule. You can appeal that.
It's got to be more of a hardship, but
Are you referring to this lot, this?
No, that's the one to the left.
This one here?
That one that goes down back.
That's a flag shaped lot. So you would, regardless, if we turn that into residential, because it's a flag shaped lot, it's a conditional use. So you would need to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals to put a house back on that lot, and the front part of that lot would have to be 60 foot in width.
I think the front is 60,
Mhm.
but it's not 100 or 125.
No, but on a flag shape, it only would need to be 60 foot and to gain access for fire department into there. And then not this board, the Board of Zoning Appeals would have to grant you that flag shape.
They could do that whether it's highway, commercial, or residential.
No, if we turn it into residential, then you can go for a flag shaped lot and build a residential home back in there. But as it is right now, no.
If you keep it at AC, highway commercial,
Yeah,
I can't picture another motel.
nobody's gonna want, no. And yeah, I'm in agreement with them. I fully in agreement, putting it back to
Well, you
residential.
never know.
Well,
Hotel can then buy that whole section there that's HC.
they're all struggling right now to stay afloat. So, and
When they were built though, nobody thought they were going to be struggling. And the thing about zoning is that you want to put something in place that's going to afford you the ability to change your minds in the future.
And you can, and if they,
You can.
and you
already
can.
have those methodologies in place
Mhm.
under state law and the rest
Yeah, I mean, at some point, it's not, like you said, it's not set in stone.
of it.
If they want to change the R2 back to highway commercial at some point because a developer wants to put a hotel, they could do that, yeah.
I think you have more flexibility if it's changed to an R2 district.
if most of those hotels were put up, SeaWorld and Geauga Lake was going good at the time. nothing had gone in the streets or Aurora for hotels. Kid State was using them for, their football, basketball games. And when Kent built their own and then Streetsboro built 10 million of them up there. And then John Lake and SeaWorld both closed down.
Yeah.
So, that's put all of them, not just in Brimfield, but Streetsboro is, all those are struggling up there right now also, so.
Getting back to, our property, the RSU there. Old like,
Here,
pole barn, the one, the big property underneath there.
this one here.
Look like a pole barn or something like that. Does that change anything?
That property, does it, without a house?
It has a house on that one right there.
That wouldn't change anything. If it's R2, that's the area you're talking about now?
Yeah, the first big property there where you had there.
No, as far as accessory, so the same thing applies to all districts. It's 5 foot from the rear and 5 foot from the side property line. It's got to be in the rear of the property. And then there's some height limitations, 18 foot to the eave. Other than that, we don't care about the size.
Okay. So changing it to an R2 from a general, it doesn't matter.
Well, under general, you wouldn't be allowed to do it without going to the board.
Okay.
You'd have to go appeal. So that's what I'm
And you
saying.
may or may
R2
not-
What you guys want to do.
Yeah, R2 is going to be easier for what you have.
Okay. And then what we use the Vega lands for right now, at least we're growing it. Doesn't affect anything what we're doing now with it or.
Does it affect the horses or anything?
They have pastures down there and stuff.
No,
My question is, what about the frontage? There's not that much frontage to that property, but I actually own the 2 lots
You
beside
can-
it too.
that's another flag shaped lot, the one that the arrow is on right now.
Yes,
So if you were to build or do something else on that, is that what you're saying?
yeah.
There's a house on it now though,
Yeah,
right?
there's a house on that.
So that
corner lot.
doesn't change anything.
Okay. But I just didn't know if it mattered. Well, I guess in the future.
Well, you're a flag shaped lot now, so you at some point got approval for that flag with your frontage, so
Your grandfather.
yeah, it's
Okay.
done, it's not, we're not doing anything.
But if I was trying to sell that, would it matter that I own the 2 lots there in front of there too, so there's more frontage?
No.
No,
You only need 60 foot of frontage for a lot.
for a flag
I
shape.
don't think there's 60 foot there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But no, what I'm saying is
It might be bigger than-
and whenever they built the house, they had to comply with the zoning at that point.
Sure.
So,
It's grandfathered anyway, no matter how big it is right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, doesn't make, if the house was there before we did zoning, you're still good.
Okay.
The only comment I want to make is you said, can we make changes without having to send it back? If the changes, I should clarify that if the changes are like less dense or less intense, then they don't have to go back. But let's say
Oh,
you're
okay,
saying,
nice.
hey, we want to change that to industrial, then that should go back. You know.
Gotcha.
So are we all in agreement that everything south of Edson Road goes to R2? Is that what we're saying here?
Well, I'm a little confused, sir, what you were talking about, highway commercial versus R2. I'm not real certain on your thoughts, if you're happy with that. Because-
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with it.
Okay. It does change a little bit, but again, if sometime in the future, if you sell or you want to consolidate those lots, one of the things that we ran into is when you're in a commercial, you have minimum lot size. You got to put a parking lot in, you have to put the structure in, you still have setbacks. You also have landscaping you have to do, and a lot of the lots coming down State Route 43 and also there on Edson, they were kind of designed for just residential sizes, which then at that point you don't have the lot size, then to move into a commercial, and then you don't have the interest by commercial businesses to purchase the land because then they have to buy 4 or 5 lots, and then that's difficult to do. To go to 3 or 4 landowners to get each one to be able to agree on the price and sell it, and then you'd have to have that platted so that it's one big lot to meet your needs. So that's kind of like what we're trying to go back and take a look at. And you're a prime example of having multiple lots, and each one of them is not a sufficient size to where CVS or Walgreens or something that would be able to move in and put a parking lot in and have access and so forth. So we were looking to put that in as residential, which meets what's existing there today.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I do have another question, really is different, but you guys probably can answer it. There's water across the street at, the apartments and the motel. Is there any way for me to bring water across the street to my properties?
First answer is yes, but that would be through water resources with the county. But as far as the township is concerned, we're all for it.
And then the other thing is, my first property to the left has sewer on it. And there's that sewer's in the center lot, but it's not on my house. Can I bring the sewer on up to my house?
Are you currently under septic?
Yes.
Yeah, I think isn't the state law that if you're within 200 feet of the sewer line, you have to.
Oh, I get
Yeah, but that would be, once again, that would be with the county. It's the
Yeah.
same
I
department.
have to check with the
You
county.
have to, yeah. The township is all in favor, but we don't have the authority to tell you that. So,
I know,
Do you know who I contact at the county level?
yeah, ask for Tia. I think she'd be the best.
and there was some funding resources in the past available in other counties that would help pay for some of that cost.
The only thing you need
They
to
want to
think
get you out
about
of
is,
septic.
Yes, for
is
sure.
by doing that, I don't know what size of the septic tank you have in there, but it's a possibility the county would make you change the size of it from 500 gallon or 1,000 gallon up to something, or a different type,
2-stage versus.
yeah, or depending on the leach
Sewer
bed.
line, would I still need a septic system?
No,
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 that's your best
if
bet.
you can bring sewer across town.
Sewer's already there, it's next door. I just
Across.
need to bring it over to my house.
Is it
Yeah.
across the street? Is that what you're saying?
No, the water's across the street.
Okay,
Sewer's.
I don't see a
it's on
problem
two of
with
my
that.
lots.
I don't see a problem
okay,
with that.
yeah,
Yeah, those are the individuals at the county level you'd want to speak to.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be more than
Give
happy
them a
to
price tag.
work with you on getting that completed. That's kind of like your.
Yeah, we'd love it too. The more, county sewer lines that go in, the further down we can bring sewers. It's,
It adds
I
value to the neighborhood at that
Yeah.
point.
What does that do to my property next door?
Yeah.
Does that change anything to my property? Can it force me to do things on it too?
I can't answer that.
You mean, can they force you to tap in
Yeah,
if sewer's running across in front of your property?
yes.
I wouldn't call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just asking what
there,
that
there,
means.
there are certain neighborhoods they try to get, we had I wouldn't poke the bear.
Well, I'm not, I just wanted to know what that meant, that's all.
the other thing you have to think about is
I
if
would.
they do a survey at any time, like he changes his,
Right.
they do a survey, and they find that your
Leaking.
Right.
septic system you have right now is no longer
The health
up
department.
to date or any good.
Is kind of.
Oh, yeah.
And they would
Happened
force you
with-
to.
With septic systems, take Streetsboro, for example, I'm familiar with the development there. They had, some of the septic systems were leaking and some of the raw sewage was being discharged in the ditch. They became aware of, the health department became aware of, and they shut down several of the septic systems and condemned them, and then they had to go in and replace them. So there's been a movement through the EPA
I understand.
to remove as many septic systems as they can and get into.
If you go back further in it, like the early 80s, everything south of 18, southwest of 18, around Dussel Lake down there, they condemned every sewer system all down through there, and they brought the sewer lines through, and we all had to,
Made you hook up.
we were all forced to change over to a sewer system. It increased the value of the properties greatly, so.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my question again. Are we all in agreement that everything from the R2 as shown South Edson Road over to the black line is going to be changed to R2 instead of highway commercial.
Everybody good with that? Let's go ahead and make a motion then.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we change.
Well,
Well, if,
hold on a second.
We're gonna wait till
Debbie,
the end.
we're gonna leave this public hearing
Okay.
and then you're gonna reopen the Board of Zoning
Well, we-
Appeals and then make the
Okay,
official
great.
motion at that point.
The zoning commission.
I mean zoning commission, did I say Board of Zoning?
And I don't own all that.
Too many
property.
meetings.
A couple lots.
But no, we have to officially close
Right
it.
there, up to the freeway, that's not mine.
Yeah.
I can't speak for those.
We need to do each one.
So yeah, you
No,
wanna,
we're
you
doing-
wanna close the public hearing out and then open the zoning commission.
All right.
Do we need to make a motion to that?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second, please.
I'll second it.
okay. I'll do it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. The public hearing will be closed.
Since we have an absent, do we want to put on the record?
She'll do roll call.
Okay.
Yeah, when we open it, we'll do it.
Okay, can we go ahead and open?
You guys,
the,
everybody's
regular
more than
meeting?
welcome to stay. We're going into the actual meeting where they're gonna start. So they'll vote on those changes. You could leave, you could stay. It's up entirely up to you, but the public hearing is over.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Thank you for coming. Yes, thank you.
You guys still playing? You guys still playing anywhere? Emily playing anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she actually played it years
Education
ago.
is the biggest challenge.
I know, but it's good because I'd rather have everybody.
Yeah. Rather have knowledge.
Started a new band.
Okay.
I know.
Bizarre, but that's
We
the
were
way
just-
things happen.
Linda and I were just talking about,
Yeah, she's still,
that the other day about it.
still a guitar teacher.
Yeah. Okay, take care. Their
25.
Yeah, you can
daughter, Emily Gambona, and my
Yeah, as you go through
granddaughter.
that, if you have any questions,
And the
call in the
Chapman
office or
daughter.
Yeah, just give us a
if
call.
you have any questions, call in.
Had a band,
Any questions, Em?
and,
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
played up at the,
You're welcome.
all over the place. They played, what's the rock, when they have the big rock thing up in Cleveland, different bands coming to it. They're playing it
That was good. I'm
in the
impressed.
hall.
I
Rock Hall
I like
thing
that.
this year.
I wish they-
Sue's here too. Did you have a donut?
7:25.
Okay, is everybody else set with the new meeting?
Yes.
Okay. It's 7:25. We'll call the meeting to order then.
Roll call.
All right, Ron Jones?
Yep.
Tom Johnson?
Here.
Debbie Darlings?
Here.
Tom Sargent?
No.
Patrick Blair?
Here.
Seth Halen? And Colette Wilosnick?
Here.
Colette, you will be a voting member tonight.
May I have a motion to accept the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Approval of minutes.
You want to turn that
Oh, I
off?
didn't see you.
I didn't know if they wanted.
Where did you sneak in?
Do you want to turn this off?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we don't. need-
Approval of minutes for January the 13th and February the 10th. Has everybody had a chance to look at it?
I have.
Yes, I read it.
We're okay?
Yep.
All righty. Motion to approve minutes for January 13th and February the 10th.
I'll make a motion.
Second, please.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. Motion's carried. Okay. So do we want to go right into approval of the amendment that we just talked about? Okay. I'd like to have a motion to approve the amendment. I believe it's amendment 4. Is it, oh, it's amendment 1, 2, 3, and 4?
1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're gonna revise the amendment for the zoning changes for R2,
Okay.
Which one?
south side of Edson, yep.
So can I have a motion for 1, 2, and 3?
I'll make a motion to accept the amendments for number 1, 2, and 3.
Second, please.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved. Okay, the next one will be a motion to change the GC, is that what it is, to R2?
That'd be HC to,
HC?
HC to R2. Am I correct with that?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
HC to R2.
Was there a GC in there too
GC
somewhere?
to HC to R2?
Yes. There was a GC to R4 and then an R2 to.
Okay.
You had a pretty good hand.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it, I think we can do it just by saying we like to amend proposal 4 to include everything south of Edson Road as outlined in amendment 4 from whatever it currently is to R2.
Correct.
R2?
Yes.
Yep, correct.
And it
That
would
works.
be currently GC.
Well, there's some GC, there's some HC, and there's some,
But that's currently GC.
yeah. So we're just gonna change it all to
What about
R2.
the, what about the R4 north of Edson? That's gonna stay?
That stays.
Yeah, because we approved amendment 4, now we're just making a change to amendment 4,
Okay,
which is everything south of, that's
and we're gonna take everything to R2 then.
correct.
South of Edson.
Yep.
All right,
Those are good.
These are good.
may I have a motion then to amend the amendment 4 to everything south of Edson Road in this corridor to R2?
I make the motion to change.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. All right. Historical district discussion. What are we looking at there?
So the next thing is the town center historical district discussion. Todd, have you gotten anything on the historical district that we discussed for the town center recently, or you still need time to give us some info? You were gonna look at some of the other communities and then get back.
Just yesterday, Manaway Township. So Manaway Township, just yesterday, came to our regional planning board, and they have a historical district. Probably should, you don't have that, do you?
That's okay. We just were briefing it tonight. We're just keeping it on the agenda.
So what they did is they gave us an overlay district. So they're identifying a district of historical structures, right? They have like 10 or 15 in one specific, I don't know, in one part of their town.
Like up on High Street, is that where they're?
No, this is Manaway, so no, that's the village I think you're thinking of. It's down by Center Street.
Okay.
And 82.
All right,
Like their town hall, their community center, those are
Yeah.
historic. They have their old school, center school. It's on National Register, Historic Places building. So what they're doing is, and what they want to do is they don't want to limit people's ability to utilize their property. They don't want to be heavy-handed because that makes people, not want to do historic districts. But what they're hoping they can do by having historic districts is that they can help those property owners find grant money and grant funds, help restore and fix up their places. So that's what they did. We talked last time about how we're gonna save the world to do our value added, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Gail, Liga yet about that idea. But we talked about value added to the community yesterday. And, we'll get you I'll give Mike a copy where they can give to you guys what they did, and we can start discussing that further. I apologize for
Get
not.
Mike.
No, we were concentrating on all these amendments, so
Yeah.
we just want to keep it on the agenda because it was a hot topic, and the trustees would like to see the historical district, especially the Kelso House and some of our century homes. Sue is here, and she's obviously trustee here for anybody that's watching at home, and that was one of the things that we discussed is the town center historical district, and we will get one. Just how it's going to look is up to you guys.
I'm just trying to figure out how, because all these houses are spread out so much in the township, how we would.
Yeah,
do it.
and you don't have to just limit it to the town center. You could do for the whole.
The whole township, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's,
You could overlay the whole township, but
Yeah.
there's gotta be some.
and you have them identified in the comp plan right now, most of them. So, I mean, if you take a
Yeah,
look,
We have a lot of them already identified, a lot of them are, we started plating them 10 years ago or more.
okay,
And anybody who wanted to plaque their homes, we sold plaques for them. And we've got, that I can think of, probably 5 or 6 of them.
okay.
Well, we have one of the oldest statues in the county down by the fire station there. Maybe we can help get his arm put back on.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense
I
too.
had somebody lined up to do that quite a few years ago.
You did, yeah.
And they backed out of it. She was an art teacher at Field. And she was good at that kind of stuff and just backed out on it, so.
Is a historical district a separate zoning district, or is it an overlay?
We call it an overlay.
Okay.
So the underlying zoning still.
And there, it does come with some restrictions.
Well, sort of. So what they were saying, is that one of the things they said is they want to, promote historic districts, but also promote the idea of uses related to the historic district. So we're like, well, what does that, that was the question we had for them, was what does that mean? Was that for weddings, have weddings or tours, or maybe some sort of special events? And if you allow those things, that's fine, but they also said they didn't want to, in the same sense that they didn't want to have adverse impact on their neighbors. So then that sounds like, well, it almost sounds like if you're going to actually use it for those kind of activities, there may be some conditions associated with that. Just the use is not necessarily the overlay itself.
Most of them in Brimfield, that, other than the Kelso, has usually just been tourists, like Christmas time tours and things like that.
Yeah.
They're not big enough to hold events in, really.
Well, and some places may not have that either, but in their backyards, they might want to have a wedding.
Yeah.
We have wedding barns in the county, for example.
Do we have any in the county at this point, historic districts, other than maybe?
We do have historic districts. Manaway Village has a small district, and Ravenna City has.
As an overlay?
As an overlay.
So maybe for next meeting, we can get some information that kind of defines in our minds what a historic district looks like in other locations.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. I should have done that before.
That's all right.
It's okay.
In all your spare time.
Well, I still said I should have. I still should have. Sorry.
Okay. Do we have any public comments on the OR zoning district along Matador Road?
We had somebody called and they were talking about it. They talked to you.
Yeah, they called and talked to me about it, asked, I put it on the agenda in case they showed up, but they decided not to show up.
We will be looking at the OR district. There are some changes that later this year, possibly into next year, once we get through other amendments here, then we'll start rolling into RO and OR districts. Especially on,
Going to LI, right?
yeah, there's some that want to go LI, and then, as we drive, I drove this before with Todd and Lauren and I go out and we look and we're like, I don't know if we like that. Cause you see, if you go to Mogador, if you're coming down Howe and you turn left, there's tons of farms in there, tons of agriculture. So, it would be worth it if you're out for a ride, take a look at those districts and what we have. We're not getting any office research over there. So, we'd like to pursue that and make some changes in there as well as, across from the street from Hemling. We used to get a lot of complaints over in there, and it's a light industrial area. So those homes too, we've got to think about what are we going to do with that in the future.
On the east side of Matador Road, all the way from Sunnybrook all the way up to Hall Road, didn't we change that to light industrial at one time? Or we were talking about it or something?
Sunnybrook to,
From Sunnybrook up to Hall Road.
That's where the RO is.
that's where RO is, correct.
That's what?
That's residential office.
That whole
So,
district up through there?
yeah, that's what we're
And then
gonna,
I don't know
The
where-
back end is the office. The back end is the office.
you know, that's the thing, you know, years later, you scratch your head like, why did we do that?
No,
But, yeah.
I know, because we had talked about, you know, when we went to the other side, on the
Yeah.
west
Yeah.
side, and we made some of that stuff into light industrial.
Yeah,
I don't know why, I could have swore we talked about it, and actually I thought we did, but evidently we didn't.
yeah.
So, all talking.
Well, we'll bring that up next. We'll keep Todd busy for the next couple of years, changing, well, every year. I mean, every year we're gonna make changes. I mean, we're gonna
You
keep you
really only
busy.
have, what? After Billings, you only have, 3 houses, maybe?
Yeah.
All the way to our road.
Yeah, and then, you know, after we get through these amendments here, you know, you guys made the motion, it's going to the trustees, they're gonna set a public hearing now. Once we get through this portion of it, we also want to update the comp plan, and I want to put that on the agendas to go ahead, and every year we're gonna keep this updated, so as the map changes and everything else, we have to make our changes, as well as you're going to want to vote and put into the comp plan this year and have Todd put in the new census material. We have all the old census material, so I'd like to update the whole comp plan for the new census material, and just every year keep the updates going.
Okay, we made the motion and passed the motion for the R2 amendment,
Right.
but we did send, and we were gonna send that to the trustees, right?
Yeah, you could make a motion to send
So,
all
I'd like to
4
have a
amendments.
motion that we're
Yeah.
gonna send this, we'll send that to
Yeah, probably should.
the trustees. Okay, can I have a second, please?
No, you motioned it, right?
Oh, I don't care, you can.
No, you go ahead.
I'll make the motion that
Sure.
we send the amendment 4, I believe it is, to the trustees.
And I heard Debbie second that. You second that, right,
Second
Debbie?
that, Debbie?
No, I didn't.
Why don't you go ahead and second?
All right, I'll second it.
All those in favor signify, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion is approved. Yeah, that just looks, that might be there, that we didn't add that into the,
No, it just makes it clean in a minute, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, and then that's all we have for tonight.
okay, our next meeting will be April, what did we say? April the 14th at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7 o'clock. Time changes weekend.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
That's great.
Todd, thank you for coming.
Thanks, Todd.
I wish the weather would change right along with it.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Hey, grab some supper over there. They're round with frost on them. Oh, you already had one. Okay.
Oh,
I figure
man, a
we
motion
gotta
to
start
adjourn.
bringing treats to these meetings, because sometimes it lasts a while and we need the sugar just to keep going. It's like,
Motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Jerry. We were adjourned.
All in favor?
Yeah, I just carried it.
Aye.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Who I call the soil water?
Eric Long,
Eric Long.
yeah. You don't have Eric's number with us.
You know, I did a project,
No. I've
If you
emailed.
call our